as we are heading further into music territory, I thought it was high time I expound more on a music theory of my own. Now, music theory is very complicated, and most of it goes over my head, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. All I really have to go off of is vibes, and my terrible singing. So bear with me, cause I did find tidbits in pursuing this theory, and while I'm talking about it, this is a theory video about Genshin Impact's music and an ongoing theory that I have dubbed the Dragon King's Great Dream. Timestamps and any corrections will be in the description or in a pinned comment below. Now, as a brief recap, the Dragon King's Great Dream is a theory I primarily based off of the Aranara's World quest. We help little forest cabbages and collect parts of a song. This song is named The Great Dream, and in a different video, I overlaid this song with the opening title's Dream Aria. If you're interested, go check it out. I'm not singing that one for you again. But the similarities are plain. So much so that I am 99% convinced that Teyvat is one massive dream bubble. The 1% is not for me, it's for you doubters. You know, to give you hope that you can convince me otherwise. Now in the same theory, I claim that if Teyvat is a singular dream, this Dream Aria should be reflected in every region, in the music. Now, just as the Great Dream and Dream Aria are not a one-to-one version of each other, there's enough similarity to see traces of one song in the other. And this is the same approach that should be used to find the other versions. However, the hard thing about finding versions of a motif or musical idea is that Genshin's soundtrack is a vast ocean, and I have but the attention span of a goldfish. I spent many days listening and searching for the proof that I need, but now I believe I have it. Before we get into the proof, it is necessary to give you an idea of how Genshin Impact goes about utilizing its soundtrack. Now, any game OST worth its salt uses themes for foreshadowing and to illustrate with sound what's happening on screen. Genshin is no different. We've all heard the Harbinger's theme in a dozen different places throughout the storyline, and not just in boss music, but any cutscene that includes them. I'll share a couple examples of how Genshin expertly recycles and uses its music to emphasize this point, also because it's really cool. An easy example of this is where Kazuha blocks Muso no Hitotachi. You clearly hear a break in the music with Kazuha's theme song. Another example is in the first phase of Tartaglia's battle. The intro uses an underlying melody with this fast-paced harp. Now, this stringed riff isn't directly part of Tartaglia's theme. Listen to what I mean. This is, instead, a representation of where we are, not who we're fighting. This melody of adventure through valley streams and Liyue is adapted to suit the setting of the battle theme. Fitting because we are fighting for, well, Ningguang, the harbor city, and for the Geonosis. This isn't the clearest example, but it was a cool find. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, but the major city's themes are reflections of its Archon. Outside of the game in the OST, each city is an extended version of the Archon's theme, and within the city's music is where I looked for this Dream Aria. Again, let's start easy. We'll start at the beginning and visit every major region in order, save for Liyue. There's a reason why, but let's start with Mondstadt. This one should be easy enough that I don't need to sing it. Out on the fields, we hear a direct version of Dream Aria. And in the city, this is again an upbeat and faster-paced version of Dream Aria. And just for fun, we'll extend this to Venti. His theme is also a snarky violin version of the aria. The fact that Venti's theme is a direct version both bothers and doesn't bother me at the same time. On one hand, when isn't Venti sus? On the other hand, Mondstadt takes its theme from him, and is the most important region in the game, the start. It's the basis to which we hold the standard of every region to follow. So yes, it's weird, and yet it feels like it belongs. This one was a little tricky, because Raiden's theme is very different from this aria. Also, every time I listen to it, I get super distracted. But what I finally decided on is at timestamp 1 minute 43 seconds. This is where Dream Aria overlays best in this music. Listen. Now, unlike Venti, Raiden's theme doesn't contain this specific part of Inazuma's music. But like I mentioned, the city's OST is an extension of the Archon's theme. Sumeru was the region that decoded it all for me. When I found Dream Aria in here, for real, I got so excited, because it showed me how a variation should look like. It's also the region that this great dream concept is introduced to us. It makes sense why Sumeru's version would resemble the original the closest. We can find it at timestamp 1 minute 53 seconds. As the avatar of Irminsul, and the one closest related to the Great Dream, Nahida and her region represent the Dream Aria exactly the way it should. After finding the others, Fontaine's didn't take long to pinpoint, but was very hard to practice. This one is placed right at the beginning, at timestamp 34 seconds. Now, the easiest thing about finding the aria in other regions is that the feeling and the melodies are mysterious and melancholic, feelings close to the original Dream Aria. Liyue, however, is a completely different vibe. Bubbly, bustling. And actually, Liyue is the region that convinced me I wasn't just slapping this aria in any place that it fit, because I tried, over and over again, to find a place where this aria overlays. And here's the reason why it's weird. Liyue's music is different from any other region. Liyue's OST is lifted from Zhongli's theme like all other regions. However, it also includes music from Lantern Rite, which means it has two identities in one. Other regions do not use the theme music for an ongoing event in their city's soundtrack. What I did finally decide on for Liyue though is at timestamp 3 minutes 47 seconds. Now this one is a stretch, even for me, and the pacing is much faster than any other region. Just listen. This was honestly the best I could do for Liyue, and I don't like it. Either Liyue is unique to other regions somehow, or I'm simply missing something. Maybe it has something to do with Zhongli or his square vision casings, but that's deeper than I want to sink at the moment. This part of the Great Dream Theory has been the hardest part to compile, but besides Liyue, I actually feel like I've found satisfactory evidence to the literal music part of the theory. Teyvat is a dream, and the regions inside are extensions of that dream. Now, while I was listening to all of Genshin's music, I happened upon a couple other music theories that need more groundwork, like the photon of fluctuation, the battle music that's reused in every region and nearly in every character's theme. This motif is used in Apap's boss fight, which gives me thoughts. And we all know the Hymn of the Pearl, the song that plays every time we reset our battle pass. I have many thoughts on that regarding the Traveler. I am so intrigued to see where my hunch takes me. Maybe nowhere, maybe somewhere. I don't know, we'll find out. But this is the end of the video. This is Say No to Cracking, and thank you so much for watching to the end.